Today's panel discussion is around premiumization in packaging, rigid packaging to be precise. And we try to cover it through various topics of discussion. We break it down into sustainability, innovation, cost, consumer perception, brand owners' expectation from converters, scalability. I would like to begin with the first question on sustainability, which is around modern premium consumers increasingly expect sustainability.
Nidhi, as rightly was saying, when the virgin prices were going up, everybody was running behind, can I include PCR into RPET, PCR, because the prices are low, can we include that? So definitely, let me say, there are a lot of challenges which are there from a sustainability point of view, and there are a lot of opportunities which are there. First of all, we all know that like plastic is an unsung hero. And this is something which we all know that people think plastic is bad, but definitely in our life, plastic is hero. The challenge over it from a plastic point of view is that we have a culture of throwaway culture. And in the morning presentation they were going on with quick com coming in, with convenience coming in play, the benefits of plastics we are starting seeing, but also there are hazards.
So for liquor industry, the industry in which I work, the brands we own are always Stag and Blender's Pride. So for us, the biggest challenge is that premium spirits have always been associated with, heavy glass bottles and luxury packaging. So while these are luxury packaging, but the fact is that heavier glass bottle means higher carbon footprint and higher logistics cost and emissions. So the challenge is how do we redefine what premium is? Apart from that, product integrity, how to maintain product integrity, because alcobev products require packaging which which maintain the aroma, taste and the shelf life of the product. So how do we address it now though? So one of the things which liquor industry is doing, and in particular Pernod is also working on it, is to keep optimizing the packaging design. How do we reduce the weight of the pack without impacting quality and the customer experience? Because consumer experience with a sturdy glass bottle cannot be compromised.
Packaging, has got an advantage on design for recyclability. If I look at the first part, collection is easier because of the value density. The form also allows better sorting. Most of the rigid packaging uses monomaterial. So again, from a recycler's perspective, clearly the yield is high. And for us, that means you could actually design the materials based on what recycled material is available. So I guess we have to focus on two things. We just have to make our packs desirable. We have to ensure that the material which we're using is something which is available, and we minimize on decorations. Of course, there is another part of it where we should try and see if you can design for refill, because that's another way of trying to kind of design for circularity.
For my compliance, so all the views are my individual views, are not related to my organization which I am representing for sure. So see, as a concept for D4R, what we call as design for recyclability or design for circularity, very fancy words, in very simple languages, rigids is very, very easy to do. The reason is D4R, design for recyclability, is talking about the simplification of the structures from the multiple material structures, where the bottles are of the different structure, the cap closures are of different, there are metal caps, there can be multi-substrate laminates, which are hurdles or issues to recycle. We are talking about shifting from these to the mono-material structure, can be PP, PE, SDP, LDP, anything, with, very easily peelable, recyclable labels on that, so that, these doesn't become...
What matters or what the challenge that we as an people face is how to actually mitigate and have all this incorporated into your product and balance out the cost. So I think that's the biggest challenge we as a consumer, we as an brand owners are facing today. And from this perspective, I think again, what I feel is that it is not that we as an brand owners can actually solve this problem. So we have a greater challenge over here, and where it needs is not only the intervention from our side as a brand owners, that how do we take help of, mitigating the supply chain, that, how we can make it, look at the supply chain, how we can look at new technologies. And I think that's where we help, we require help from the partners like you to actually collaborate, where you can balance out the cost. Because end of the day, any cost increase is going to be a burden onto the
driving machinery session, and we will have our panelists of the speakers to come on the dais, starting with Mr. George P. Holzinger, Managing Executive Officer, Shibura Machines, Japan.